All right, guys, let's look at the second student task statement called draining and filling a tank. A tank of water is being drained. Due to a problem, the sensor does not start working until some time into the draining process. The sensor starts its recording at time 0 when there are 770 liters in the tank. Number 1. Given that the drain empties the tank at a constant rate of 14 liters per minute, complete the table. All right, so something that's imperative for us to underline is the constant rate of 14 liters per minute, okay? I'm trying to highlight it for you guys. I'm sorry about that. And it's saying that it's being drained. So since it's draining something, this would be a negative 14. So it's almost like our unit rate will be negative 14 liters per minute. Okay, because we're draining it. Okay, now let's look at the table. So when I study the table, I see that it gives us a time in the first column, the change, the expression to help us calculate the change, and the water that's left over, which is the water that's in the tank. All right, so if I follow the same pattern, I see 770 plus the time is 5 times, and then the constant rate will be negative 14. Okay, now according to the order of operations, we have to solve multiplication first before we add. So I'm going to multiply those two numbers first before I add. So I have 770 times negative 14 times 5. So this is being solved first. Negative 14 times 5 would give me negative 70. Okay? So this would give me 700. All right? That would give me 700. The next line I will put, 770 plus 10 times negative 14. Okay? That would give me negative 140. Okay? 700 minus 100, 770 minus 100 would give me 640. Then 670. Then 670 minus 40 would give me 630. So let me write that out for you guys. What I did was 770, and adding a negative number is the same as subtracting a positive. So 770, and write that better because neat work makes the best work, plus our minus 100. I just separated it. Our minus 140 will give me 630. Okay, now let's move on to question 2. Question 2, it says later somebody wants to use the data to find out how long the tank has been draining before the sensor started. Complete the table. All right, so we're still keeping the same unit rate, which is negative 14 liters per minute, which indicates that it's draining. And if you notice, it's the same expressions, okay? So 770 plus negative 2 times negative 14. Two negatives times each other will give me a 28, a positive 28. Okay? So since it's a positive 28, it's actually increasing. Okay, so 770 plus 28. So 770 plus 28 will give me 798. Okay, so then the next line would be 770 plus negative 3 times negative 14, which two negatives make a positive. All right, that would give me 42, positive 42. Okay, and when it gives me a positive 42, I want to add my answer to 770. Okay, when I add that to 770, I get 2, carry the 1. Okay, the 1, which would be 11, 812. Okay, so then the next line, if you guys notice, I always solve the multiplication first. Never do the addition first, okay, when it comes to multiplication. So 770 plus negative 4 times negative 14. Okay. And that would give me a positive 56. And let me make sure I'm checking my math. Because you know a negative times a negative will give me a positive, which is the same as a positive times a positive. Carry the 1. Okay, that's 56. Yep, it's 56. And I will add that to 770. Okay. The last line, we're doing the same thing. Negative 5 times negative 14, which is a negative times a negative would give me a positive. Okay, so negative 14 times negative 5 would give me a positive 70. Okay, and then I'm going to add that to that. So it's only 14, carry the 1, 840. Okay, right. So let's look at question 3. It says, if the sensor started working 15 minutes into the tank draining, how much water would that tank have to begin with? So it'll be 15 minutes, which that will be our time. Okay, so if it started working, this would be beforehand, it would be a negative 15. And we're still going to multiply times a negative 14. And we're going to add that to 770. Okay. So when I multiplying two negatives is the same as multiplying two positives. So I can multiply like this. If you wanted to keep the negative symbols, it doesn't matter. Okay. Carry this 2. I'm just doing my math. And that's going to be 15. Add that together. And this is going to be 1, carry that 1, and it's going to be 210. And what you want to do is you want to add that 770 plus 210. And when you do that, it's going to give you 980 liters, okay? So if you guys had any questions with the third question or just with this student task in its entirety, make sure you guys visit your manager Google Meet session, and I'll see you guys in question 3.